never tell anybody I know it all because I have team members, some that may know more than me, some may know a little, but we work as a team out into the community, making sure that we're taking care of our communities. Tonight, we're going to talk about final expense. And the reason for these is to educate. This is education opportunity for
You
us to
have
educate
a
our
good
community.
night.
And thank you all for being on time and thank you all for coming in. Whoever came on, please just
Oh
mute your
yeah,
line.
yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Somebody's saying, "Oh yeah, please mute your line."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I don't
mute
know
your
how to
line
do
out.
that. I'm on the cell phone.
Okay, you got to look at the bottom. It should be a mute button.
I don't
See if
want to
you can
knock
mute it
myself
out.
out.
Because if not, we hear everybody that's talking and everything that they say. Okay, final expense life insurance, which is also known as burial or funeral insurance. So, what is final expense insurance? It's a type of whole life insurance designed to cover end of life expenses. So, people say, what is end of life expenses? End of life expenses is anything once you pass away, that's considered your end of life expenses. This focuses on immediate, smaller financial needs. So a final expense policy is not a policy that's used for mortgage protection or to say I'm gonna send my kids to college. It's more or less for burials. It's more or less to pay off those last little debts that you have so you don't leave your family in a situation. And it's not intended for income replacement. It's just, I'm gonna say it again. It's intended for final expense, which can include burial, cremations, buying headstones, caskets, things like that. That's what the final expense insurance is for. The key characteristics is coverage for funerals, is coverage for burials, is coverage for cremation and small debts. Coverage amounts typically range from $2,000 to $50,000. Okay, which are small policies. The permanent coverage that does not expire. Now, with a final expense plan, if you continue to pay that policy, it will never expire on you. It's fixed monthly premium that do not increase with age. If you lock it in at a young age, you buy that you could buy a policy for your grandchild at 4 or 5 years old. She'll pay that same premium when she becomes 60, 70, 80 years old. So you lock it in when they're young, it's there for them for their entire life. Accessibility and approval. Most policies require no medical exam. Approval based on a short health questionnaire and also a prescription script for most companies. And what that prescription script does, it tells you what medication people are taking. And so when you say, like, I'm taking lisinopril, people know that's for high blood pressure. Amlodipine could be for high blood pressure. And so when they look at the medication, they look at why you're taking it. And that's how they approve most of these policies. Options available for individuals with health conditions. Just because you have a health condition, the final expense policies are more lenient to our seniors and to everyone. Companies normally write from 0 to 85. Most companies, not all of them. So that means when you have a young child who's sick, they can get a final expense. Well, a lot of your major companies like the New York Life or the American or Mutual of Omaha's will not give them those big policies, but those companies will give those final expense burial plans. The reason for that is the burial plans are a lot lower in death benefit. Most people are buying them at 5, 10, 15, or $20,000. So you're not looking at covering someone, excuse me, with $100,000. That's what the final expenses are not for because they don't go that high. Some of them only go up to 30,000. Some may only go to 20,000. But for everybody, even if you're sick, whether it's a heart attack, stroke, cancer, dialysis, lupus, leukemia, sickle cell, you can at least get $10,000. Some of them may not be first day coverage. Some may be depending on the company. So you want to make sure that you try to get it early when you're healthy. But if you don't and become sick, we will still cover you. Options are available for individuals with health conditions. It's designed for quick and simple approval. Now, what I mean by designed for quick and simple approval, we don't require a medical exam. We don't require uh, blood, urine. Some of the larger companies does. So when you have a condition, those final expenses are more lenient. Okay, we give shorter coverage. I mean, smaller coverage amounts, but we cover everything and everybody. Okay, we have a company that will cover you if you have a loved one in prison because when they die in prison, they send them back home. So we have a final expense company that will let you have at least $10,000, enough to bury them. Because some people, no matter how long they be in prison, when they die, they send them back home. I'm telling you what I know. And now a lot of people are saying, I'm donating my body to science. Science is not taking your body anymore. They have too many. They want no more bodies. Everybody want to donate their body to science, but science have no way to put them, so they're not going to take them and they're not going to accept them. So what's going to happen is that body's going to sit right there until someone decides who's going to be the responsible party. So I want to say this to you: if you have a brother, a sister, a sibling, a cousin, a mom, a dad, a grandkid, someone that you know that has no life insurance, this here final expense is what we call the GoFundMe cure. Because if you come fund with us now with a small policy as little as $10,000, you will never have to go to a GoFundMe. Okay? GoFundMes were not set up for funerals. They are not what they're set up for. So make sure that you have something for yourself. Make sure you have something for your family or your family have something. The only way you're gonna know is you're gonna have to ask. There is a cash value benefit. Policies often build cash value over time. Cash value grows on a tax deferred basis. Policyholders may borrow against the cash value. Loans can be used for emergency or personal needs. Now, if you borrow that money and do not pay it back, they're going to deduct it from your death benefit. So let's say you had a $15,000 policy and you passed away, but you borrowed $2,000. All your family's going to get is $13,000 because they're going to take the $2,000 that you borrowed and subtract it from the death benefit and pay your beneficiary the rest of that money. You want to leave a beneficiary, your beneficiary needs to be someone that is smart, responsible, trustworthy, and reliable. Okay? The reason for that is because they're not smart, they're going to take the money and run. That's number one. Number two, if they're not reliable, they're not going to put everything together that you want to have in place. Okay? If they're not dependable, they're not going to show up when they're supposed to. And they're the ones with the money. So if you got a Ray Ray or Poo Poo and Pookie, don't leave it to them as your beneficiary. Leave it to someone that's responsible. And do not turn your money over to the funeral home because they're going to spend every dime of it. Okay? Do not leave the funeral home as your beneficiary. Leave someone in your family or leave someone that you know that's responsible, that's going to be that person there for you. Now, for some people who their family's all gone, the only one left, you have a nice friend or somebody that you trust that you know is going to take care of your last wishes. Okay. These final expense policies, I recommend if you have a large policy, if you have $1 million policy, still take out one of these final expenses because they pay within 24 hours of receiving all necessary paperwork. The necessary paperwork is slip my mind what it's called. Ah,
Death
mm,
certificate.
thank you. It's a death certificate that the funeral home has. And they will give you that death certificate within 24 hours so you can send it in and get the check. Okay? Types of final expense policies. We have simplified issue, health questions, no medical exam. Guaranteed issue, no questions. It's a higher cost, but it's guaranteed. We have guaranteed issue policies often include a 2-year waiting period. We have pre-need insurance purchased through a funeral home. Okay. Now you can't do a pre-need policy. Well, let me explain some of these pre-needs, which people don't understand. When you do a pre-need, you go there and say, I'm paying everything to the funeral home, so my funeral's paid for. If that funeral home goes out of business, you have nothing. Okay? You done paid your pre-need, but there's no funeral home there, so nobody's gonna be able to take care of that. So be careful when you go do all the pre-need and say I'm prepaying, I'm paying my funeral up, because funeral homes do go out of business. Okay, sometimes they go out of business because the funeral owner passes away, nobody else wants to take it over, so everything stops right there. So if you went in there and paid him for your casket, all your pre-needs, you set up everything, and he's not here, there's nothing nobody can do. That's why it's important to have your own life insurance policy, leaving someone as a beneficiary. Okay. Now, I'm not saying don't talk about pre needs, because with some of the concierge services we have, you can pre plan your total funeral. I'm talking about from the casket, the color you want, what day you want to be buried on, when you want your funeral, the dress you want to wear, the suit you want to wear a hat, no hat, you want your earrings on, no earrings on, glasses on, watch on, the color dress, all the way down to the T. And you can send this to our concierge service. So when something happens, if the person that's your beneficiary reaches out to that concierge service or the agent that wrote the policy, then we can pull that and everything's already pre-planned. We also negotiate the funeral. Why do When I say we, I'm talking about concierge service. We have on staff a funeral director, so he knows what different things could cost. We don't know how much it costs for embalming. We don't know how much it costs to pick a body up from wherever they pass away at and bring them to the funeral home, but they know what that should cost. That way, that people cannot overcharge us, because you're not at fault for what you don't know. But when you don't come get educated so you know what to do, then that is your fault. Okay? Common uses of coverage: funeral services and funeral home fees, caskets, urns, and headstones, burials, cremation, or interment costs, final medical, hospice, or hospital bills. All those things is what the money is used for. Now, we understand with the final expense policy, the main purpose is for that burial and taking care of those final wishes. You're going to take care of the burial first, and whatever else comes after that, if there's any money left over, they can go ahead and take care of the rest of these things. Additional expenses covered: travel and lodging for family members, outstanding credit card or small personal debts. Any remaining funds can be used by beneficiaries, provides peace of mind for loved ones. That's important. It provides a peace of mind for loved ones, because when someone passes away and they have no insurance, the not just the immediate family, but the surrounding family, everybody it affects. Because now they're calling around. Did you know he didn't have no life insurance? Well, I thought he had someone the job. I thought he did too. You don't get paid to think. We gotta know. And the key thing to knowing is asking. So you should be asking your immediate family, do they have life insurance? And when they do you have a final expense plan? They say, yeah, I got life insurance. When's the last time you paid it? If they can't say it's coming out of my checking account, or I pay it every month, I just paid it last week, I paid at the end of the month, or it comes out my check at work, then they probably don't have it. And if they ever tell you that they're good, tell them you didn't ask them if they was good or bad. You asked them if they have life insurance. That's two different things. Being good is being good. Being bad is being bad. But life insurance, you know if you have it and if you don't have it. We have to start as family, friends, and associates asking. And don't be afraid to ask the question. And don't be afraid to call your insurance agent and say, you know what? I'm going to get my sister over here so we can sit down and talk about life insurance. I'm going to bring my neighbor over. We can sit down and talk about life insurance. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is we do not, but we'll call them and say, hey, there's a sale over here at Walmart, or there's a sale at Best Buy, but we won't tell them that. And I want you all to always remember, life insurance is on sale every day. It's on sale every day. So make sure that you call and find out how much it is for your family. And if you got family members that you know can't really afford it, and you know you can, sacrifice, and you can say to them, hey, I'm going to start your policy for you and just bring me the money every month. And they may skip a month or so, but if you got the money, just let it come out your account. So at least if something happens, you can say, don't worry about it. I have a policy that I'm the beneficiary on. And there'll probably be some money left over for you. So let's start getting more. getting them more educated, and we start caring a little bit more and take that burden off the family. Okay, this is it. Anybody have any questions?
I have a question, I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, this is very educational, and I'm sorry that it's only a few of us up here, but with you reiterating what we have learned through the years or however long we've been in the insurance business, I think it's a good thing because it keeps it fresh at the forefront of our minds so that when we um, have conversations with other people, we can recall, what we know and share it out. And the other thing is, as you were talking, um, and you were, I guess, suggesting that, as agents with our families, that struggle to see how important this is, that we could take it upon ourselves to, take out um, policies on them because we're going to get commission anyway, and I'm thinking, you know what, that is not a bad idea because I've got some close relatives that they don't see the importance, but I do. And if I can initiate the start, then, maybe it's possible to get them to join in and send money. As a matter of fact, I'm working with a client right now. She's a grandmother that wants to put a policy in place for her granddaughter and her granddaughter's children. And she's trying to encourage the granddaughter that if she can't pay for it, she can um, offer food stamps to the grandmother for making the payments for her. I don't know, that might be illegal. I mean, that's just between the five of us that's on this call, but I just thought about that. So thank you.
No problem. Well, what you have to think too, Miss Susie, is okay, if you don't do anything and one of those members pass away, aren't you going to donate money to them? Because they're going to come back and ask you, well, she had no life insurance. And they're going to want you to donate money. And me knowing you and who you are, you're going to donate something to them.
Well, it's funny.
So,
It's funny. Rhetorically, it's funny. You should ask that question because
all
this
right, bye.
past weekend, I
I'll call you right back. Bye bye.
had had a family reunion, and I presented myself as an insurance agent. And of course, they said, "Oh, yeah, we don't. You're just like your brother trying to sell us something." But I told them, I said, "You know what? If you all have to go fund me, do not call me because I'm telling you now, what to do to avoid that." So, you may think I'm going to contribute, and maybe I will, but I told them that I won't.
Well, I
I
tell
have a
them
question.
I don't want to contribute. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Uh, I noticed you mentioned that the policy is to be paid for the life of the individual. You mean as long as that person lives, that policy has to be paid, correct?
Yes, to age 100. Then it becomes an endowment because it's paid up.
Ways that we could
You
know if
breaking
they,
up.
okay, let's see if I'm closer to the mic. If they don't pay, is there an alert for us that they're not paying if we were to help in the way you suggest?
As an agent, if you wrote the house,
Now you're
that
breaking up.
if okay, if I wrote a policy on Miss Susie and I'm agent, okay, if she doesn't pay it, it's gonna let me know.
Okay. What, 30 days, 60 days, what?
They gonna let you know it's a payment. Now, what will happen is if there's cash value in there, say they had a policy about 4 years, and then all of a sudden they miss a payment, they're going to use the cash in the policy to pay that payment. They will let you know. They will let you know that they missed a payment. They'll all send it to the insurer, excuse me, and to the agent. But they're going to send it to a family member. So say you and Miss Susie are sisters, and I have Miss Susie insured, but that's your sister. They'll let me know. I'm gonna know because you're not. And they'll send Miss Susan something her missed your payment.
Great. Thank you. You've answered the question. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Um, I'm glad I attended this meeting
But
because I wasn't too sure about how the insurance company works, and it's teaching me a lot right now.
and that's what it's
And
for,
I want to
education.
say thank you.
You're quite welcome. I appreciate you getting on. But we're just trying to educate because people don't know, and they don't know what they don't know until they hear what they thought they knew. And that's why these calls are so important. So we're going to be here every Thursday, 7:30, talking about a different topic. And they're going to all be including some type of insurance, mainly going to mortgage protection. We're going to talk about whole life. We're going to talk about index universal life, annuities, cancer plans, all types of insurance, living benefits. So every Thursday, same time, we'll be here. When the link changes, we'll make sure we send you a copy of that too. But
Okay.
it's educational. And the more that we say these things, the more that we learn, and even agents asking questions help other agents to learn too. So we all here to learn. It's not about we're here teaching because we know everything. It's just like in school. The teacher teach what they know. But it's something they don't know, they bring somebody else in to teach it. And it's just like the athletes. They're getting paid all that money, but you know what they do? They practice, practice, practice. And that's what we do by doing these meetings like this. We're educating, but we're practicing for ourselves to make sure we're educating the right thing. And a lot of times these things help the agents sell better because they've learned something that, oh, you know what? I didn't really know that. Like a lot of people didn't realize when you pay the funeral home and the funeral home goes out of business, you don't have anything. So by us educating and letting people know that, give them something to think about. Okay, you paid that funeral home about 3, 4, 5 years ago. Is he going to be there? And I give you an example. The funeral home that buried my grandfather, which was back in like 19, I think it was 94. He wasn't around when my grandmother passed 3 years ago. So
Wow.
imagine if we would have paid for him to bury my grandmother, prepaid her whole funeral, and she lived to be 103. When granddad died, I think he was 72.
Mhm.
So that's why you have to know, and that's why we have to educate. But as long as you have that life insurance policy, you don't have to worry about anything. And when companies, um, if a company decides to go out of business, they sell their book to another company. Somebody buys those policies, and they will let you know that they have that policy. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Susie, can you write down all the names that's on here for me, please? Any other questions?
Not right now.
Okay. Well, again, it's 7:55. We started at 7:30. We get in, we bring it to you, and we let you go. We're not going to keep you long unless you have more questions. So hopefully next Thursday, we're going to be here same time at 7:30. We'll have another topic. Please invite some of your family and some of your friends. And if you got any enemies, bring them too, because we insure them too. We're not prejudiced. We write everybody. Okay?
Hmm.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good evening. Talk to y'all
Thanks and
later.
good
Thanks
Uh,
a
night.
lot.
Thank you.
will I be able to call you tomorrow about the life insurance?
Yes, ma'am. Call me tomorrow morning. I'm gonna say call me around 11.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
You welcome.
Okay. Bye bye.
Have a good evening.
You too now.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Let me see if I stop share. I gotta do this now. Okay, I stop share. I got that done. I'm gonna go see if I got the Zoom out the way. Chase Chapman Lawrence Pool Insurance Agent. Your mom asked me to give you a call. Give me a call back when you 757 449 443. Thanks a lot. Devontae, this looks Pool Insurance. Your sister asked me to give you a call, 77449 6463. Give me a call back, man. Thanks. Bye bye. Yes, ma'am. I, I thought I ended it. Oh, let me see. I bring it back. I'm up here. Where is it at? Let me see. All right, we're leaving in the meeting for all.